everybody. Janine Truitt here. Welcome back to Ask Czarina. This is the week of the 14th in September, and I told you I would be back to discuss my thoughts about this anniversary I'm having. So, on Sunday, I made 4 years at the Aristocracy of HR. So, the Aristocracy of HR turned four. Whoop, whoop for me. And like I said in the last video last week, I mentioned that, it's been a tremendous ride, and I wanted to kind of share some thoughts, revelations, maybe even tips about what it's meant for me to be a blogger and to kind of ride the wave of this blogging journey. So here I am. And I've gotten all glammed up for you, more glammed up than usual, because I feel like I should look and feel good. It is my blog anniversary, so I threw on a little blingy dress and some nice accessories, and my hair is on fleek, as the young people say, or as I say, because I love the word. I can't even lie to you guys, but um, here we are. So, the Aristocracy of HR started back September 13th of 2011. And if you are brand new to my YouTube channel and have not yet read any of my blogs at the Aristocracy of HR, here's some history and background. So essentially, I was forced onto social media by my then employers. I'll leave them nameless in this. And social media was pretty much fairly new to everyone, fairly new to the world of business in terms of using it as a tool or platform to do anything. And so I'm an HR practitioner. It was a very new concept at that particular time to be thinking about branding and employment branding and, garnering candidates using social media. So this kind of came down as like a top-down initiative to all of the talent acquisition staff, and we were all just kind of looking at each other like, what the hell is this crap, and why is it important? Because I've got, like, at that time, no lie, I had like 175 requisitions sitting on my desk. And when I say requisitions, I mean 175 jobs that needed to be filled with qualified bodies. So the idea that my employer at that time wanted me on anything, spending extra time that I felt was detracting from my recruitment efforts, was just crazy. But I digress. So we learned about these tools, Twitter and Facebook, and none of this I had any interest in. But nevertheless, I was put to use these things, or made to use these things, under duress. And so I hopped on Twitter and I started tweeting out my jobs, and I had a terrible name, which I didn't realize was terrible at the time because I didn't know what I didn't know. So I, just started tweeting out jobs, and then I started to kind of observe some people, and realize that there was like bona fide communities out there. Like, it wasn't just for celebrities, because my whole impression of Twitter at that time was, this is for celebrities, this is stupid, who the hell cares? And when I started to realize that there were blogs and there were people that were doing what I was doing, but putting information out, I started following a few blogs. And from that point on, I said, okay, I'm going to start tweeting out little tips, HR insights that I was having. And I started doing that. And lo and behold, Toolbox for HR reaches out to me, one of their representatives, and says, hey, we love your tweets. You should blog. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, who cares? And so I ended up, they coaxed me, they convinced me. And so I did write my first blog post, and it was called To Automate or Not to Automate, That is the Question. And it was basically an HR tech post on, whether or not it makes sense for HR to automate. And I was kind of tongue in cheek asking the question. Like, I pretty much had my own opinion on what I felt HR should be doing with regard to technology at that point, but it was more of a very like high level question for the readers to kind of think about whether automation's done more for us or actually set us back in terms of what we need to do in the workforce. So I go ahead, I publish this, and lo and behold, people like it, and I get comments, and people start following me, and it was just crazy to me, because for years I had taken a lot of pride in what I did as an HR practitioner, and I believe amongst my peers and the people that I worked for, I was pretty much known as a visionary in my own right in the organizations I worked for in terms of the things that I was able to churn out on the job. So to be able to put pen to paper and kind of have a larger, wider audience see the things that were going on in my head as a professional was pretty profound. And the fact that they even cared what I had to say was mind blowing to me, because at the end of the day, and if you know me at all, family, friend, close friend, newer friend, you know that I'm pretty humble and I don't take myself very seriously at all. And so, the idea that people were actually interested in what I had to say really was just shocking to me. Not because I don't think I'm an intelligent individual, but largely because I just feel like, you know, why were they taking their time? But people took their time, and I never stopped writing since that blog post, and they continued to take their time over and over again to the point that I decided to actually invest in a domain and move everything that I had done at Toolbox onto my own domain site. And that happened about 2 years ago. And here I am today with a very successful blog that's globally read. Several magazine covers later, several conferences, speaking gigs, brand collaborations later. Here I am, and also in business for myself and churning out material HR media for these purposes in at a rate that is almost shocking to me, because I really never intended for any of this, but I think it's so dope and super cool. And it's really just a testament to, and as much as you can go to school and you can try to plan your life and plan your career, you kind of almost have to leave some cushion in between those plans for what life actually throws at you. And this was one of those things that I really didn't anticipate. I didn't go to school thinking I was going to become a writer. I was a biochem major turned industrial psych major, turned HR professional, who basically thought I was going to just rise the ranks as a CHRO in a company somewhere and live out the rest of my days. And here I sit in front of you today, churning out videos for, my now business Talent Think Innovations, and also under the Aristocracy of HR. And I'm these days very much an HR practitioner still, very much still deep entrenched in the psychology aspect of things, but yet still a bit of a marketer and a lot of a writer, which is something that I always excelled at and I always liked. So it's just kind of interesting how life brings you full circle. But that's the background. And, that's kind of my thoughts on everything so far. And, I'm not a person that likes to share much before I can really conceptualize fully and get things in place. That's just, it's kind of a little bit of angst on my part when I'm, a little bit, I guess, hasty in letting people know what I'm going to do and I don't do it. So what I will say in terms of where I plan to take this is the Aristocracy of HR will stick around and it will grow, and it is growing. And I am looking to take what I've done with HR, business, and all the other topics I touch and really turn it into something that you haven't seen yet. And so the media thing will pick up in 2016, and you'll see some of the things I'll be churning out in the next month or so. And it's going to be fun, it's going to be different, and I'm really trying to push myself to limits that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. I'm going to keep it 100% funky with you, but um, the discomfort really puts you in a great creative spot. I find, at least for me, that's the case. And there's a bit of magic that happens when I do that to myself, by pushing myself a little further than I want to go. So stay tuned for the magic. On that note, while we're even here, and I'm kind of being very elusive and about what I'm planning to do, I can share, because I've shared it on my Instagram account, that I will be launching a Periscope show, a regular Periscope show that will happen every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be called Ask Czarina Live. And I plan to have it be a half an hour show. So it will be 15 minutes of a topic I choose, and sometimes it's going to be HR and business, and sometimes it's not. It may just be something I want to discuss. So don't expect the same old over there. Although you can expect a lot of the same still, because I can't help myself. But it'll be 15 minutes of that kind of chatter, and the last 15 minutes of the show will be a Q&A session where people can ask me whatever they need to ask me, whether it's about business, HR, career, things about me. I'm pretty much open. So I'm very excited about it. I might have mentioned before that I am growing to love Periscope. It is fast becoming one of my favorite, next to Instagram, in terms of social platforms. So I am going to put myself out there. I've done 18 scopes so far, and so far so good. I have a pretty decent following there, so we will see what happens. This is kind of the mode I'm in now. Try something. If it works, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. At least you tried. I'm trying things. Not too many things, but I'm trying things. I'm being targeted about what I try, and hoping that things will pan out with my ultimate vision. So there you go. There you have it. A new initiative there. And I will continue to be here on YouTube, just to kind of complement the blogs that I'm putting out on the Aristocracy of HR. So you can expect that. But I'll also be posting the replays here, as long as Android cooperates, because of late this has not been going well, me getting the download of my video. But anyway, my intention is to make sure that the replays of Ask Czarina Live do go live on the YouTube channel, so you can expect that as well. What else can I tell you? I can tell you that this week there will be a post kicking off my technology series, which every year for my anniversary I take it right on back to how I started. And I always try to, provide either the latest and greatest in HR tech, or some insights around HR tech and HR. So that's starting this week, and you can check it out at the aristocracyofhr.com. The series is called Technology and HR Revisited, and every week I'll be tackling another topic with regard to technology and HR. This week I'm talking about reports and analytics. And in specific, a report that I am kind of pushing for a brand partner of mine, that I feel is doing the reporting and analytics in the best way possible where it comes to HR tech implementations and even vendors. So look for that. And other than that, I have the Honest Diversity Conversations. The second webcast is happening on Wednesday. This Wednesday, it's all about discrimination and hiring practices. So Steve Levy and I will be on at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have not registered, you can certainly go to my speaking engagements and events at Talent Think innovations.com, and or you can find the same at the aristocracyofhr.com and register. You can register like even up to like 15 minutes right before the actual webcast goes live. So definitely register if you know anybody, even some young professionals that are just entering the workforce and maybe still need to learn some things about how things work in the workforce. This would be a great webcast for them to listen into, because I think they'll glean some things that perhaps your average career professional or HR professional are not going to share with them up front. So certainly, please, please, please share it. Thank you. That's pretty much it for now. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you so much. I don't care if you've read my blog once, twice, or if you are a consistent reader. I cannot tell you enough how thankful I am for everybody that reads, comments, retweets, hearts, provides feedback, even those of you that provide a counter argument to something I've said. It provides me with fodder for other posts, so thank you. But it also helps me to continue thinking about the things that I'm churning out. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And stick with me on this ride. I promise you it will be worth it, because I'm really looking to do some big things with this entire brand and blog. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I will see you on the flip side. All right. Take care. Bye.